Hi, I'm Alex Durienzo, and this is my final project my final for social work this semester for spring. And yeah, so I'm gonna be answering all these questions, and I will be kind of explaining what I've learned and how I feel about what I've learned this semester. And if I'm like looking down or anything like that, I do have a couple footnotes to kind of like help me remember what I'm talking about. So if I'm looking down, please excuse me. I'm just trying to remember. But anyways, so we're gonna first start off with our first section, which is what is person and environment concept. What is that concept? And basically the first question is, I wrote the questions down as well. Please explain this concept and see examples how to use this with clients. So I would say in-person environment perspective is all about paying attention to your client's surroundings and like what is going on in their life while you are on their case, so you can actually thoroughly help their case with the more information you have. The more information you have, the more you can help them. So actually paying attention to their surroundings, their environment, their education, their home life, all those things can really help you try to see what is actually going on in their life and how you can really thoroughly help them. And that kind of goes into the second question with that: how does this concept help clients? And it just kind of helps them, it helps you get to know them better so you can actually help them more thoroughly and actually give them the best help that they need, since you know more about them, So, and then part B is about concepts, and our first question is identify and explain an important concept to you. An important concept to me that really stuck with me was cultural competence, as well as multiculturalism. That's a hard word to say. But yeah, that really stuck with me because it is all about actually paying attention to your client's culture and how that actually affects what they do and all that. Because different cultures mean they might run differently, like Mexican households run way differently than a white household, an American household. It's very different, and you have to, remember that going into these things so you don't see things as maybe, something terrible to, someone American when it's not a big deal in like Europe or Mexico or anything like that. It's all about what they know is right where they are from. And explain why you chose this and why it's important, because it's important to actually know what your clients are about. It actually helps you get to know them, and actually you can help them, because not knowing what their culture is, you don't really know them, so you can't really help them. And then 2 points from the self-care podcast that I thought were really important to me were that this just goes into part C. The first one was that social workers bring their work life into their personal life way too often, bringing them down. And I think that them talking about creating a self-care plan for yourself to avoid that from happening is really what stuck out to me, because that's so true. You see so many different things as a social worker, and seeing these things can get you into different mind spaces that you don't want to be in. So I could see, why they say that. And then the second one is that, we burn out. And that's any job. You burn out super quickly, and you can't put your all into it, And without that, you can't really be a social worker. Being a social worker is all about passion and, wanting to actually help people. And once you're burned out, you can't really do that. And then for the last part, reflection, this might be a little more than 5 minutes, and I'm sorry if I get deducted points for that, but, I'm trying to fit all of this in because I feel like I did learn a lot this semester. But impressions on social work. Honestly, I'm going to be a social worker. That's why I took this class, because my major is social work. So honestly, I think what I've seen so far is amazing. Like, honestly, what I've read, like, I thought the textbook was super informational. And like, it's just nice basics to get to know what your career is going to be. And I thought that was really nice. I thought it was like a really nice introduction to what the career is going to be. Two ways you have grown sensitive to others. Honestly, I thought that the discussion posts were really nice about, like, they really brought that to life, because then you could really see what other people are going through those discussion posts, and you could kind of like relate to them, or even feel sorry, or even anything like that. It just made you feel. And I thought that really helped you feel what other people were going through. The discussion posts were a smart move, in my opinion. But yeah, so the discussion posts have helped me, as well as just the textbook in general has a lot of good information on just how to be there for people. And I think that's the number one thing about being a social worker, being there for people and being sensitive. So I think that was like a top point. And then, how have you grown professionally and academically? Like I said, this was a good beginner class to what my career is going to be, so I'm very glad that I have taken this class to just start my journey. You know, I'm glad that I have been able to just start my journey. Finally took a social work class that's to my major, and I'm very excited to go on to university and actually graduate and get my major, or my master's, I'm sorry, and everything like that. I'm super excited for that. So I think I've grown as in having more goals for myself, because now it's gotten me more excited for what my career is going to be. And then lastly, how will what you have learned impact your career in life? Like I said, with everything else, good basics. I think like the foundation of social work is all throughout that textbook, and I think that was a good just layover of what it is like. And I think that really is a good preparation for all the other social work classes I'm going to take and everything else I'm going to do with my life. So yeah, I think this class was really helpful to what my career will be, because I'm actually going to be a social worker, and I am very appreciative for this class. And I want to thank you for actually being a really good teacher, and thank you for actually going out of your way and like calling us and things like that. I really appreciate that, and you've helped us so much. Yeah, so thank you, and I learned a lot this semester, and yeah, I'm glad I took this class. Thank you.